I miss the old FIFA. I don't know how you guys got into this game, but back when I was in middle school, we used to get together. A group of our friends would get together and then just run kickoff. The game mode prior to Ultimate Team, prior to career mode, we would literally just run kickoff, and sometimes we wouldn't even be able to afford the game, so we would run kickoff on the demo version for indefinitely for months, and there would only be like 8 teams you can pick from. I remember like the more popular teams back then were like Dortmund. Dortmund was one of the teams you could pick. Obviously, like Real Madrid and Barcelona were always pickable because they would sell the demo. I guess they would get people to download the demo, and we would grind out for hours. We would, and if somebody had the full game, then we could set up tournaments to figure out who the best player was. And yo, that shit was, now that I think about it, that's nostalgic, man. That was genuinely like prime peak days when the economy wasn't collapsing. And honestly, I was too young to even realize the economy wasn't collapsing. Maybe it was because it was also around 2008 when the financial crisis happened. But like, this was a few years after. Okay, like I think the economy recovered by then. But like, people just weren't stressed. People weren't stressed. People weren't anxious. People weren't trying to like go into the rat race of figuring out how much money they need to make, what house they want to buy. I don't think even our parents were doing that. Our parents were probably chilling back then. And that was peak. That was peak FIFA. And now today we have come full circle. EA gets bought out by some Saudi sovereign fund. Obviously, this is private equity. The goal is to make money. I think we have come a long way from when this game was originally probably announced because of the love and passion for football. And we saw it. We saw it with the game devs. We saw it with the updates. We saw how much care and attention they put into the ratings, into the system. When FIFA... Oh my god, I conceded a horrible goal. When like the early days of FIFA came out, even like not even early in the mid days, like 13, 14, 15, the level of difference in between each game was massive. It was like iPhone 3 versus iPhone 4. The innovation, oh, that was a really hard pass. The innovation that they were doing at the time was insane. They were adding like new physics engines. They were adding brand net new game modes. What would now be Champ Weekend League. Weekend League, I think, originally came out. I'm playing horrible because I'm yapping, but like, anyways, I don't care. We're hard stuck on Div 6 anyway until Weekend League comes out. But like back then, when they used to release a feature, it was like a revolutionary feature never before seen. Now, removing a feature is an update. We have come full circle, guys. Now removing shit they add is a W, which is insane. The chemistry system was already good and intuitive. I don't know how many of you like the old chemistry system versus the new one. I actually quite enjoyed the old chemistry system. I know that some people were complaining about the fact that they couldn't play players off position and there wasn't much variety in teams, and so like they'd have to like, you know, play specific teams like a full Real Madrid team. It was hard to get chemistry across multiple different clubs and leagues. But like that's the same case in real life. Like when you bring a, I don't know, let's just use like real examples. When you bring like a Spanish player into a Premier League or an English player into La Liga, you're going to have chemistry problems. And that's fine. Sometimes it's okay to play off cam. You're not going to get the most out of a player, but over time they integrate and they become part of the league. They gain their chemistry back, they gain their momentum back, and things improve. They kind of got rid of that because now you can basically make any team. Like the thing is that kind of pushed the whole agenda where everyone's now meta seeking. Like everyone wants to play the most meta, most like overpowered squads. But that wasn't really that possible back then, bro. I mean, there was like Seydou Doumbia, Victor Abarbo, Gervinho, Biabiani. Those guys were absolutely cracked in the game. But like, you couldn't force feed a team with them. If you played with them, you generally have to like sacrifice on other parts of the team. because some of the better defenders were in like the Premier League, but it was hard to link them with the Prem players. There was just like something nice about the fact that there was a balance. That's the word for it. There was a balance. And I also missed that too. I missed the early day. I mean, I just genuinely just missed the old FIFA, bro. I'm not gonna lie. Come on, this has to be a goal. How got caught? I'm telling you guys. You guys have seen my previous video. Female center backs are fucking OP, bro. I'm telling you, bro. You guys, if you're not getting a female center back, you're sleeping on that shit. Yeah, and then the other thing is, like, this game has become so solo-focused. One of the big things about FIFA was, like, oh, you would want to see what your friend got. Oh, like, what team is your friend running? I don't know. I had a lot of friends playing FIFA for the longest time. But, like, we just stopped talking about the game. There's not much to talk about. Oh, new SBC drop. Cool. Oh, new card drop. Cool. The reason we stopped talking about it was because, like, a new card dropping wasn't a big deal anymore. It wasn't a big deal anymore because they just kept printing new cards every week. Like, not even every week at this point. Like, we get, like, new cards every 2 days, bro. There has to be some level of novelty, right? Like, there has to be, like, some level of, like, oh, you know, we've been waiting for a whole month for the foot miss cards to come out, and this Alessandrini or Ryan Kent 5-star came out, and this is an insane card. You should try it out. The problem is there's a meta player coming out every week now, and they're trying to do less of that this year, but they're probably gonna have to do even less of what they're doing. Like even what they're doing right now, like they've already released a couple of meta players. I'm not gonna lie, we have already gotten. Like, look at that Pepe card, bro. That I know my last video doesn't do him justice. But yo, he's good. Pepe is good. And it's just like the game hasn't even come out. They already released a pretty OP card. And people who did him are gonna eat good for a while, but like there's just gonna be a next card. Like who's next? Like Pepe, who's next? They're probably gonna release like a TK SBC or something. Or like Mahmoud SBC or something. Marmouche, sorry. What did I say? Mahmoud. Marmouche SBC. And then there's obviously like already meta players, which makes sense. Like meta players being meta players like Valverde or Bellingham, like those guys being meta makes sense because they're high rated. But they're expensive. Pepe is not expensive. Pepe is not expensive. And we already have him. This guy is probably like if you gave a similar stats to a meta player, not a meta player, like a high profile player, and had a gold version of that card would probably be going for like 200-300k easily. Man, Van Dijk dropped the ball there, bro. Van Dijk dropped the ball there, bro. And like, it's just a matter of time when we get the next one, right? That's the truth. We're gonna get another Pepe in no time. Oh my god, I'm conceding like crazy. I conceded, then I came back, then I'm conceding, then I'm probably gonna come back again. This is the typical loop of EAFC. Oh my god, I almost conceded again there too. You guys also notice, by the way, look at the top. Like they started like sponsor. I know they used to do this before too, but like it's like very in your face now. They started sponsoring or selling sponsorships. This is basically like ad space now, which is going to be even more exacerbated with the acquisition of EA by a private equity fund, because at least with a public company, it's just like pleasing the public with reports and stuff. With private equity, it's going to be a select few people making majority of the decisions, whereas a public company, it's a mass, like it's a democratic decision-making system. With private, it's not really democratic. It is democratic, but democratic within the ones who own it. So now, effectively, I'd say like 6 or 7 board members are basically going to make majority of the decisions. Hopefully, Saudi is very well known for being heavily into sports, so this could be a really good thing, because this could genuinely be like them, you know, wanting to dabble more into sports, more into the esports specifically, and invest a lot of money, because one thing they have is a lot of fucking money, bro. That oil money runs deep, bro. That oil money runs deep, bro. If some of that money gets invested into EA, I mean, EA honestly also has access to a lot of capital, just sheer amount of sales they get from these games. FIFA is a cash cow. I literally moved my keeper. I don't know how he didn't block that. But this game's gonna be an L, looks like. So if they actually like properly take this franchise and maybe even get back the FIFA license, so we get back the FIFA name. I think losing that FIFA name, I know it's not a big deal, but it's just like part of the branding, right? Branding is so important. It's part of the experience. Just like, oh, I'm playing FIFA 26. That's the whole reason why we never moved on to Pro Evolution Soccer. Because Pro Evolution Soccer, objectively, for the longest time, was a better game. Obviously, it's probably not better anymore because they just haven't been making any money from it, or not enough to justify the investment. But the whole reason was like we never played that shit was because I didn't want to fucking play Pro Evolution Soccer. Even the name itself was like kind of corny. I'm gonna boot up some Pro Evolution Soccer. And I do not like the fact that I have to say I'm going to boot up some EAFC 26. It just doesn't roll off the tongue. People will say these things don't matter, but they 100% do in the grand scheme of things. If you really look at the scale of how many fans this game has, it 100% matters. It makes a massive difference. It makes a massive difference when you tell your friends you're playing EAFC versus FIFA 26. And like ever since they lost the name, it almost feels like the game has died a little bit. Like the game has been bleeding players indefinitely. But like it almost feels like a part of the game died along with that license. And a company worth $55 billion can't afford a freaking license. Come on, bro. Come on, bro. I hope Saudi is able to get back that license, and they are able to get back the license at a good deal too, or a good rate. They're probably one of my only concerns with the whole acquisition is, are they gonna really shove like Saudi League down our throat? Because I'll be real with you, I ain't gonna watch that shit. Like it's not that it's shit. It's just that like I didn't grow up watching Saudi League, bro. I'm sure it's good. Ooh, damn, bro, jumped over that. I just didn't grow up watching it, so you know, like I'm not gonna watch it. Like part of the reason why I watch football was because I grew up watching Real Madrid. I don't watch the other leagues. I don't really watch the other leagues. The only time I see the other league teams play is if they ever play a Real Madrid team, or if they're playing like a Champions League game against like a Prem League or PSG or something. Those are the only times where I see them. Sometimes I'll like tune into like a PSG game here and there because they had some crazy good players. They still do. But I used to tune in to watch Mbappe. But like the whole industry, the whole football industry is very player driven. It's like name driven. It's essentially like a brand. Everybody is subscribed into their. It's like vehicles, right? When you buy a car, there's so many different types of cars, and everyone kind of has their own like car brand that they love. Like I personally prefer Lexus. It's like a Toyota, reliable but like luxury style car. Some people really like Toyotas. It's reliable and cheap. Some people really like Priuses. It's I don't know, low on gas. Some people like Maseratis because they're bougie. And it's the same exact concept. Like some people like Zlatan Ibrahimovic. He's very like arrogant, but like some people like that. Some people really like Rashford, who's super humble. Some people like Paul Pogba, who's like super stylish. Like, you know what I'm saying? There's different brands and different styles. And that's why, as much as like they want to shove Saudi down our throat, and it may eventually become a big league. At the end of the day, like Saudi players, let's be real here. Most players that move there, other than maybe like a handful of players, most players that move there during their retirement. And Ronaldo is still playing good, but bro, Ronaldo's peak versus what Ronaldo is now is not the same player. It's not the same player, right? He was hungry when he was young, bro. He was hungry, bro. He had like, he's still hungry, but like you just don't have that kind of hunger. And part of the problem with the Saudi league, I know I'm like rambling on off topic completely, but Part of the problem with the Saudi league is like very like monetary, financially motivated, which is fine. It's great. That's great. Go get your bag, king. Go get your bag, queen. Um, but the hunger is just not there, and that it'll translate into the game because these guys are not growing up in the streets of like Portugal or something. A hungry little kid barely has enough for shoes. They just won't have that passion. And like some people argue, even like the current leagues and current players don't have that passion, but I disagree. Like, dude, you can see the hunger in certain players. You can see the hunger in certain players. Certain players go crazy. Like the level of dedication, the level of effort. Bro, look at Bellingham, bro. The dude is so dedicated. Look at Yamal, bro. He's a family man, bro. Look at the level of effort and dedication. It's because like people will point out like one or two players, like, oh, look at Vinny. Vinny's world class, by the way, but like I understand he's a party animal. I get it. And people will use that as like, oh, like they just don't have the passion. They just don't have. But have people forgotten like Ronaldinho was a party animal too? Have people forgotten Adriano, who literally ruined his career? Have people forgotten how big of a fucking cokehead Maradona was? Have people forgotten that? Like, bro, when you're that famous and rich, and you have so much temptation around you, it's so hard not to fall into that. Yeah, it doesn't have to have anything to do with passion. Like they're just as passionate. Man, this game is so goal heavy, bro. I absolutely got cooked. This is a problem with every time I record. I get cooked. I gotta like record like videos where I don't get cooked, so people don't think I'm fucking trash. But yeah, that's my TED talk for today. I do miss the old FIFA. I do miss the old days. Why are you passing back? Just let me get another goal, bro. Come on. I do miss the old days, and hopefully, I mean, like we're slowly starting to regress back to the old days, which is a good thing. I think we're also doing that in real life with politics, with the economy. We're slowly going back to our glory days. It might take 5 years, it might take 10, but we are making progress towards it. We are removing things that were added because we don't like at the end of the day, like there was a brief period where FIFA was just perfect. Just give me that same version of the game every year. And maybe I'm talking out my ass. Maybe I would have quit eventually, but like give me that same version of like FIFA. I would say like 14 or 15. Give me the same version of FIFA 14 every single year with the player refresh with cuz guys, at the end of the day, every year, even though it's the same game, it is a net new game because it's net new players with new stats, new ratings. The power curve changes, the rotation changes. You know, Rudiger is going to get old. He's going to get 60 pace. Van Dijk is going to continue going down. Valverde is still young. Bellingham's young. Camavinga is really young. He's going to get to a point where he's actually like in his prime. He's going to be like a 90 rated player. Rashford is 81. Rashford used to peak. Like, you know what I'm saying? It's gonna the game is gonna rotate naturally, and then if like 20 years later, Rudiger is now an icon. Van Dijk is now like a prime icon. Mendy is a hero. Valverde is an icon. You know what I'm saying? Like that rotation. Like give me like freeze FIFA 15, 16, whatever. There is one FIFA that was peak. Freeze one of them, and then just update the players every year. And I hope this EA acquisition ends up doing that instead of just turning this into a money milking machine and they just add bullshit features to basically try and get more players. I hope they serve the existing players, and the existing players I think has enough money to provide to them to indefinitely keep this game running. I'm gonna leave it at that.